Obviously, you guys remember this video.
That don't give you permission to search it, dude.
What's that? I'm alive.
Dude, I didn't stutter. Why you keep saying what's that?
What's your concern here?
You're searching the car. Do you have the permission to search that?
Is it your car?
I don't answer questions. Do you have the permission to search that?
I don't know who owns it, sir.
I will detain you pending further investigation.
For what? Recording our
Put your hands
public
on the car.
officials?
Put your hands on the car.
Dude,
Drop the cigarette. Set the phone down.
So I get an email from a subscriber named Dustin Harrison. And this email spins a pretty crazy tale. He's driving down the beautiful mountainside in Teller County, Colorado, when he stumbles upon Colorado Parks and Wildlife Ranger Michael Judd, badge number 608. He notices Judd searching a vehicle with no occupants, so being a good Samaritan, he pulls over and asks the cop who gave him consent to search, knowing that no one did or could have because no one else was around. Judd immediately responded by saying it's an abandoned vehicle, and under Colorado's laws, a police officer can search an abandoned vehicle to record its contents for an inventory before tow. Now, in most cases, after there's a drunk driving arrest, it is completely legal to search the contents of a vehicle to gain inventory. But it's a much different case for an abandoned vehicle. In fact, this is what the law actually states. CRS 42-4-1801. A motor vehicle is considered abandoned on public property when left unattended on public property for a period of 48 hours or longer, left unattended on public property for a period longer than any limit prescribed by any local ordinance, stored in an impound lot at the request of a law enforcement agency, and not removed from the impound lot within 72 hours after the time law enforcement agency notifies the owner. Now, this car isn't in an impound lot, and it hasn't been abandoned on public property for 48 hours. So legally, it's not considered an abandoned vehicle. But even if it was, under that law, this is the only thing a cop is actually allowed to do with the vehicle. A description of the abandoned motor vehicle, including the make, model, color, and year, the number, issuing state, and expiration date of the license plate, or any other indicia of the motor vehicle's state of origin, and the vehicle identification number. But funny, no mention of a required search or inventory. And this one just isn't that big of a brain buster. The cop found a vehicle along the side of the road. And under law, the only thing he's actually allowed to do is call a tow truck and have it towed. But that means paperwork, and this paid public servant is not going to do his job without making someone pay. So he violates the law, violates the vehicle owner's constitutional rights, and goes rifling through it. Hopefully he can find something. So when he figures out who the vehicle belongs to, he can send them to jail for that 30 minutes or so of paperwork. Until Dustin comes along. He's the only one without a badge or a gun, but he's also the only one protecting and serving the public, especially this vehicle's owner. Ultimately, he's arrested by Ranger Judd and Teller County Sheriff's Deputy Troy Sardi, badge 1955. And since we're throwing around 1955, 1983 comes into question. That's a 1983 USC for the deprivation of Dustin's rights under the color of law. Illegally arrested, ready to file suit, he reached out and asked for our help, and we're going to give it to him. Teller County Sheriff's Department and Colorado Parks and Wildlife, the whole world is watching just how dirty you are. Now and then, everyone's held accountable, and no one can escape the court of public opinion. One other last-minute super fun fact. Right after Dustin caught these two cops rifling through a vehicle without a warrant and he was arrested, this deputy and wildlife ranger went to the court and immediately got protection orders. Now, this isn't the first time we've seen this. We've also seen it with auditing Mabden. When we covered his video, they couldn't scare him into cooling his constitutional rights, so they tried to utilize the court as a weapon to suppress his free speech. And the two cops in this video are trying to do the exact same thing. Well, it's been a month since that video's dropped, and today we're back with a killer update. And that update is the disposition from the people of the state of Colorado versus Harrison. Charge number 1, obstructing a peace officer. Status, dismissed. Charge number 2, disobey police officer written as failure to disobey lawful order, status, also dismissed. So I caught up with Dustin today just to figure out exactly how things went down in court, to figure out just how much money he had to waste to fight this unlawful arrest, and just exactly how much money this unlawful arrest is going to cost the taxpayers of Teller County. Stay tuned after my interview with Dustin so you can catch up on the original video and figure out just how all this came to be in the first place. Holy smokes, guys, I know that you remember this video, and I remember getting this video the first time, and I was absolutely blown away by it. And I was blown away for 2 reasons. Number one, I was blown away by just how stupid this cop was. I was also blown away with how educated the cameraman was. And this video, I've been waiting for the update. I know you guys have been waiting for the update. And finally, an update is here. So let me welcome Dustin. Dustin, how are you doing?
I'm great.
Glad to hear it. So tell me about this day. You're driving down the street. You know, you see this cop rifling through a car. He has no business rifling through. And something tells you to pull out the camera.
Yeah, I actually turned around to go back to the entrance there to the state park. And yeah, it looked fishy, shady. So I just wanted to stop and let the camera record.
So you start recording this cop, and that seemed to be what he disliked the most. It seemed like he had this real aversion to anyone recording what he was up to. And, you know, you weren't complying with any of his unlawful orders. Like, can you stand up for a second? Let the folks see at home what you got on there. I do not comply with unlawful orders. And certainly you didn't comply with them that day, and you wound up getting arrested.
Yes, sir.
And what were you charged with?
I was charged with obstruction and ignoring a lawful order from a peace officer.
So, and this is in a direct result of you getting out of the vehicle and explaining that you had every right to record. Without a warrant, he couldn't search a vehicle. And when we start looking at the state laws in Colorado, it's very, very specific. A car has to be left unattended or unmonitored for a certain amount of time. And it's very clear from the video that he had no way to gauge just how long the car had been there. So he couldn't conform to state law. He just saw a car on the side of the road and decided that without a warrant, he was going to go through it. And then comes this guy with a big mouth and an even bigger camera to kind of throw a wrench in the works.
That's right.
So you go to court after this unlawful arrest, you bond out, you go to court, you go in front of the judge. Tell me how that plays out in court.
Well, she's pretty rude to begin with, the judge.
Who's the judge?
Yeah, the judge. What's her name? Teresa Kilgore is her name. But yeah, she was real rude. Fast forward to today, and you know, when the district attorney said that they were dismissing all charges, she just looked really, really surprised.
So you're in court in person, I assume, when this happens. And
Yes.
you meet the judge the first time. The judge is not a fan. The judge is very rude. She probably looks at you the very same way that the police officer looked at you and said, "How dare you not bear back the blue?" So you get to your next court date today. You go in, and you know, I'm sure they said in some sort of wording that in the best interest of justice, we're deciding not to pursue this case.
Well, the DA hadn't even looked at the video. My attorney asked him this morning if he had looked at the video yet, and he said no. And he said, "I highly recommend you do that." And then this guy, he looked through his notes, and apparently my case was on his notes for him to dismiss. So case dismissed. No looking at the video for him.
Now, how is that making you feel?
It makes me feel like this is all just a sham. a sham, really. I mean, here's this guy, you know, yeah, he was gonna dismiss the charges, but you know, he hadn't even looked at the video, and neither did any of the other DAs that was on there before. Only one
So,
DA had watched the video.
I mean, that's an interesting point you bring up. Certainly, if you watch the video, then you dismiss it. They wind up dismissing the charges, and you bring up a great point. If they didn't watch the video, why were they so willing to dismiss the charges? I think it brings a bigger question into play here. Are they used to getting a lot of unlawful arrests from this cop? And they know that it's just probably not the right thing to do to pursue it in court because he doesn't have a good track record. Is this officer on the Brady list? What kind of issues are they confronting? So the case is dismissed. And then what does the judge say to you?
She don't really say much to me. She looked really surprised today when they dismissed all the charges, and she said that she was going to seal the record. My attorney said, no, don't seal it, you know, because then we'll have to unseal it to get all the information because I'm going to sue the out of these guys.
That's beautiful. So the judge says, listen, we're going to seal this so it doesn't ever pop up anywhere else, and you don't have to worry about this again. And your attorney says, well, judge, you might as well leave that open because we want easier access when we sue the ever-loving hell out of you.
That's right.
For a deprivation of your rights, 1983 USC, I'm assuming, and then for the negligent supervision of this officer in the field training and protocol.
Yep.
Listen, man, what you watch these videos, I'm assuming, for a long time.
Yep.
You know that things go one or two ways. Either they go all right, and that's the minority, or things go sideways real quick, real fast, and somebody gets hurt. Knowing that you have a family to go home to, what made you pull over and pull out your phone and do what you did in the first place?
Really, I don't know, man. You know, we're out thousands of dollars for an attorney, and you know, almost $600 to get our car out of the tow lot. You know, they only towed it like 12 miles, and it was over $500. I was just coming back from the store, so I had literally a whole car full of groceries. So you know, 3/4 of them went bad. Really, you know, I shouldn't have stopped, but something told me I should, so I just turned around and stopped and just did my civic duty, I guess.
I couldn't have put it better to myself. And let me ask you a question. How are you so knowledgeable? I mean, it was like you were ripping it real fast. This cop didn't stand a chance.
I mean, there's several things that I got wrong on there. I watch you a lot. I watch Long Island Audit a lot. NC Tyrant Hunter. I watch you guys, and then I look up laws here. Like I got a laminator. I'm getting ready to laminate just all these bullshit laws that these guys try to use and arrest people unlawfully. And I just want to be able to say, what's that, obstructing, and just flip right to it and say, no, man, I'm not guilty of any of that.
So
literally,
let me understand this. So you've been watching videos, mine and some others. So you performed like you were a finalist at the All-Star game, and that was just off watching audit videos and looking up some laws.
Yes, sir.
I mean, listen, if that's not proof that this community works and the parrot method works, then I don't know what else is. But I'll tell you one thing. A lot of people get scared and they comply. And you have certainly lived up to your shirt. You know, you don't comply with unlawful orders now. You did not comply with unlawful orders then. And now your name is cemented in law. You have a victory. You're going to be taking these cops to court. You're not letting them slide. You're not giving them 1 inch. And I think they're feeling every single second of that Dustin pressure.
Absolutely. And they're going to be feeling it even more here in a little bit. Be cashing them checks.
Well, listen, I want you to send me all the pictures of all the things that the Teller County Sheriff's Department has bought for you.
100%, man. I'll send you pictures and video.
The new car, and make a nice little video like, hey, Teller County, check out my new truck. Thanks for buying it for me.
I am. I'm going to, and maybe even a little vacation. I'm going to start trolling these guys and getting, I still got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of, last 6 months of arrest for the whole department. I'm getting, body cams, and we're going to do some due diligence on this, and we're going to see a pattern of, rights violations, and we're going to get them right where it counts.
You're not only going to get them right where it counts, you're most certainly going to get them right where it hurts. Folks, thanks for checking out this video. Thanks for supporting Dustin. It's always wonderful when we can have an update, but even more so when we get a victory for the people. And with a victor always comes a champion and the spoils. And that champion today is Dustin. So Dustin, thank you for reaching out to me and sending me your video and sharing your story and being, willing to come on here, because you're proof in the pudding that if you're brave, you stand up for yourself, you exercise your rights, that we the people can win. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to stay tuned for updates. In the moment, Dustin has a channel with some videos on it to show you just how awesome he is from his own stable. You can bet that I'm going to be putting that all over the internet. Dustin, thank you very much. Teller County, our eyes are on you. You lost in a court of law, and you lost in the court of public opinion. And that's the reason I stopped you today.
What's up?
What?
Huh?
Just getting ready to tow a car.
What you doing searching it?
What's that?
What you doing searching it?
I need to inventory it for the tow.
You do.
Yes.
You got permission to search that?
What's that? It's abandoned.
I didn't stutter.
It's abandoned.
That don't give you permission to search it, dude.
What's that? I'm allowed.
Dude, I didn't stutter. Why you keep saying what's that?
What's your concern here?
You're searching the car. Do you have the permission to search
Is it your
that?
car?
I don't answer questions. Do you have the permission to search that?
I don't know who owns it, sir. It's abandoned.
That's fine.
It's
So then you didn't get permission from the owners to go inside that car.
Policy and law dictates I do a search inventory to a tow. Document what's in the vehicle.
No, man.
Yes, sir.
No.
Drive off.
What's the law? What's the law on that? What's the law on that, sir?
It's abandoned property.
Okay, that's fine. I understand that. But you said law and policy dictates that you do that.
I have to fill out a tow report. I have to document the condition of the car.
That's fine.
as I
That's
have
fine.
it.
What's the statute on that? Call our CRS on that.
I'm not going to quote statute to you, sir. I know my job.
You're in there searching your car without the permission.
Get back in your car, please.
No.
What
No.
do you care?
Dude, you went in their car without
Get
their
back in
permission.
your car, sir.
No. I have every right to film you, sir. I have every right to film you, sir.
Step back to your car.
I have every right to
My
film
safety
you.
and yours, step back to your car.
Dude, the Supreme Court's already ruled 10 feet, man.
You can film
10
from
feet.
back there.
10 feet away from your stop, which is right there. I'm more than 10 feet away, sir.
This vehicle is part of my stop. Back to your car, please.
No. Why are you searching their car without their permission, sir?
Because they abandoned it, blocking the roadway.
That gives you permission to go in their car and search it?
does.
What CRS is that, sir?
Sir, I'm not quoting CRS to you.
What CRS is that? What gives you permission to go in their car? No. This is public property, man. And I'm not.
Do you have a parks pass on your vehicle?
I do.
Okay, can I see it?
No, you can't.
Why not? You're on the park.
I'm not inside the gate. I can be
The
right
park
here.
boundary starts right here.
Yeah, and this is public property.
It requires a vehicle pass.
This does not require a vehicle pass. Vehicle passes are up there, sir. Past that.
That's where you purchase them, but as soon as you come
No,
out-
no,
Yeah.
no. If I pull right up here to the side of the road, and you pull up and say, "Where's your pass at?" I don't need that. I need that inside the park, sir. I'm not interfering with nothing. I asked you what gives you permission to go in there, and you turned your
I'm doing an
click.
inventory
I understand
search on
that,
the
sir.
car.
I heard you
Step
say
back
that.
to the car, please.
I
That's
heard
all I'm asking.
I heard you say that.
Just step back to the car. I'm trying to keep my scene safe. I'm waiting
Sir,
for a
step
tow
back to
truck.
the car.
Step back to the car.
Supreme Court's already ruled 10 feet away from the stop, and the stop's right
Step
there.
back in the car.
Step back inside my car.
Go sit
I can
back in the
record
car.
you guys, man.
I'm recording too.
That's fine. I can
Go sit in
record
your
you.
car.
I asked him what gives him right to search that car.
If you do not want to step back inside your car, I will detain you pending further investigation.
For what? Recording our
Put your hands
public
on the car.
officials?
Put your hands on the car.
Dude, I
Drop,
can.
drop cigarette. Set the phone down. Hands behind your back.
You really gonna
Interlace
detain
your
me?
fingers.
You really gonna detain me for this?
Face the car.
For what?
Face the car.
I'm facing the car. What are you detaining me for?
Relax your arms.
Dude,
lean
you're
forward.
pulling back on me. How
Lean
much do you
forward.
want me to relax?
I want you to lean forward.
I'm leaning forward. Man,
Keep that sleep.
you're much you ain't like you were the other day when you talked to me. You're kind of being a dick now, dude. What's the purpose of this? What do you got me in cuffs for? What do you got me detained for, sir?
Okay. You want this stood up so that you record? Is it recording that way?
Just you can leave it down.
Or just leave it down? Okay.
It's recording right now.
Okay. So,
Why are you detaining me?
because you're failing to follow instructions.
What instructions
you're,
of what?
You're approaching this wildlife officer.
I didn't approach. I stood
You-
right here.
You were approaching this
I was
wildlife
10 feet
officer.
away from him.
You were standing right next to his door.
No, I wasn't, dude.
Okay?
And I got
you
it
were
all
asked
on
several
film.
times to go sit in your vehicle.
I can record from public property, man.
You can record.
I'm
for
not.
public-
Look, I'm not. I wasn't in the roadway or nothing.
Okay.
I wasn't.
You're about 30 seconds from going to jail for obstruction.
Obstructing is a physical act, sir.
No, it's not.
You want to bet? I'll
You're
bet money on
obstructing
that.
this officer's
I am not.
investigation of
I am
this
not.
abandoned vehicle.
I am not. He was right here at his door when I
Okay,
pulled
is this
up.
your vehicle?
It is not.
Okay.
When I drove by, he was inside searching it. So I asked him why he's in there searching it without
Okay.
their permission.
So this vehicle does not belong to
It
you?
does not.
Okay. This is an abandoned vehicle.
I
It's an
understand-
unsecured vehicle.
I
It's blocking
understand
the
that.
state park.
I understand that. But
Okay.
he still doesn't have a right
Okay.
to go searching it.
You're going to have an opportunity to walk away from this right now and drive off. This is your last opportunity. If this is
Dude,
not your vehicle,
I can stand right here and record all day long if I want to.
you are not approaching my office.
I didn't approach him. I was more than 10 feet away. Supreme Court's already ruled that. So if you want to take me to jail, go for it, dude.
All right, let's go.
You really gonna take me to jail over this?
This video goes to prove you can't always beat the ride, but you can most definitely beat the case.